Good afternoon, everybody. Today, we'll be seeing a program on prime numbers. Like initially, we'll be starting with to check whether given number is prime or not. Then we will identify different logics to calculate whether the given number is, prime or not. And then we will move to an extent where we'll print range of prime numbers. That is, if I give n value, it need to print 1 to n prime numbers. Okay. We'll do. Shall we start? At any point of time, if you have any issues, please respond in your chat window, because I have muted you all, and it's like you cannot speak to me. You can only interact with me using chat window. For me, it's like speaking to a wall, but still I could manage. It's okay. This online teaching experience is a kind of that thing, a new experience. Anyways, shall we start? Yes, we will start. See, let us take examples. Say 7 and 8. I am taking example. 7 is a prime number, 8 is not a prime number. In what way shall we write a program? So let the number be n. Okay. And I starts from 1 to n. So every time what I will be doing is whether this I is a factor of n or not. That I will check. So if I is a factor of n or not, that I need to check. So for that, n modulus I. Modulus is an operator which gives you remainder. So 7 modulus 1 is 0, and 7 modulus 2 is 1, because 3 to 6 remainder is 1. 7 modulus 3 is 1, 7 modulus 4 is 3, 5 is 2, 6 is 1, and 7 is 0. If you can see here, only 1 and 7 are divisible by 7. 1 and 7, which means 1 and itself. So these two are factors for 7, because it is divisible, right? Say the case of 8. 1, 2. I starts from 1 to n. 8 modulus 1 is 0, 8 modulus 2 0, 3 is 3 to 2, and 8 modulus 4 is 0, 8 modulus 5 is 3, 8 modulus 6 is 2, 8 modulus 7 is 1, 8 modulus 8 is 0. Total, how many factors? 1, 2, 3, and 4 factors, because that particular I value got divisible with n. Ekkadaithe zeros unnayo avi. Okay. So prime number definition. A prime number is a number for which it has 1 and itself as factors. 1 and itself as factors. 1 and itself. But not prime number will have more than 2 factors. More than 2, why? 2 and n. 1 and itself, prati number ke factors hai na. The 1 and itself are factors for every number. If it has got one more factor in between 1 to n, then it is not a prime number. This is the fundamental logic that I am considering to write my first program on prime numbers. Okay. Total, I will tell you in 3 to 4 versions to write this prime number. We will identify a disadvantage in each version and we will upgrade to the optimal version. Okay. So the first case is check each and every integer from 1 to n whether it is a factor of that number. In that case, if the count is 2, which means if the factors are 2, then it is a prime number. If the factors are not 2 or greater than 2, then it is not a prime number. We will blindly implement this logic as a program. Then we will try to optimize the code. Okay, applying the fundamentals of mathematics or whatever. Okay, see here. Okay, initially what I am doing is I will be reading a number, say input, enter n. So I need to check whether n is a prime number or not. So as per my logic, if for I in range, what does it do? It prints all the numbers from 1 to n. We'll check it initially. Print I. So if n is 10, it prints all the numbers from 1 to 10. 0 to 9. 10 print out లేదు. అంటే range అనేది 0 నుంచి n minus 1 వరకు. If you need to print 10 also, then it should be plus 1. Okay. So careful at that particular logics. So if it is 0, it starts from 0 and ends with n minus 1. That is range of a function meaning. So we don't want to print. We need to check if n check చేయాలి. n read చేసావు, I start చేసావు. ఎక్కడ నుంచి 1 నుంచి n వరకు. So let us check it. So it should start from 1 నుంచి n వరకు plus 1 వరకు. Every number check చేయాలి. n modulus I double equal to 0. If it is true, for every I value, if n modulus I double equal to true అయితే count చేయండి. C equal to C plus 1. That initially C equal to 0. Okay. Now, after breaking the loop, మొత్తం అన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ చెక్ చేశారు. I value 1 అయినప్పుడు చెక్ చేశారు, 2 అయినప్పుడు, 3 అయినప్పుడు, 4 అయినప్పుడు, so on. You have checked the elements till 7. So, after breaking the loop, you need to check whether the count is equal to 2 or not. Why 2? 1 and itself. So if the factors are 2, then it is a prime number. If the factors are not 2, it is not a prime number. So print prime, else print not prime. That's it. A very simple code, hardly 9 lines. I'll run this code. Enter number, say my number is 7. It is saying prime number. Logic is good. And I'll enter number 8, and it is saying not prime number. One more number, say number 25 is not a prime number. Okay, a very simple logic to check whether given number is prime number. This is the first example. Now I'll try to optimize this code. Let us take this example. Come back to the example. What if the number is 700? I should start from 1, and how many times? 700 times. 700 iterations. What if the number is 1000? I starts from 1 to 1000 iterations. You need to check each and every I value from 1 to 1000 whether it is divisible by 1000 or not. Got it? And you need to check each and every value from 1 to 700 whether it is divisible by 700 or not. If it is divisible, maintain the count or update the count. And if that count is 2, it is prime. Inta blind ga rasam manu logic. You have written logic in such a way. But my question is, see here. Say your n value is 50, and these are all factors for 50. And n value is 24. These are all factors from 24. And n value is 12. These are all factors for 12. Which means for these values, you will be getting zeros. If you are getting 0, it is a factor. I is a factor. Okay. For 50, for this particular I values only, 50 modulus I value will be 0. For remaining values, it will not be equal to 0. Which means these are the factors of 50. Okay. So it includes 1 and itself. 1 and itself. 1 and itself. And there are also in between factors. Let us say number 11. The factors are 1 and 11 only. There are no factors in between 1 and 11. So it is a prime. So what I'll do is I will remove these cases so that I can decrease 2 iterations. I'll remove these cases, 2 iterations, because for every number for every number, 1 and itself are factors. Okay, that I'll upgrade. So I don't want range to start from 1, that it start from 2, and I don't want n also, that it end with n. 2 to n is enough. And if the count is 0, it is prime. If there are no factors from 2 to n, it is prime. A blind logic. 1 and itself is 2 iterations taggicham. So now the prime number, say 5 is a prime number, and 12 is not a prime number. Very good. 12 is not a prime number. Now we'll go back to the example. 2 iterations and observe this thing again. Okay, no problem. See here 50. Do you find a factor after 25 for 50? Case 24. 12 are a factor. There is no factor after 12. Case 12. There is no factor after 6. Okay, which means take any number. You will not have factors after n by 2. Say if the number is n, all the factors for that n will be within the limits of 2 to n by 2, which means you will not have any factor from n by 2 to n. Say this is n, you will have factors from 1 to n by 2 only, but you will not have factors from n by 2 to n. Ikkada factors undavu. No way you will have factors. And all the factors will be here only. Green. This is red, no factors. This is green. All factors will be within the range of 2 to n by 2. Okay. So considering this, what I can do is I can reduce the number of iterations to half. For the given value 1000, I need not repeat for 1000 times. I can it is okay if I repeat 500 times. For the example 700, I need not repeat the logic for 700 times. It is enough to repeat for 350 times, half of the number, because after 350 you will not have a factor for 700. Similarly here, after 500 you will not have a factor for 1000. This is applying mathematics to the problem statement. Okay, previous problem is right, but I'm optimizing the code such that the number of iterations decreases. As the number of iterations decreases, time complexity, time tagutum. The aim of the program is to complete the program with less amount of time and less amount of space. Okay, so get back to the program here. So what I'll do is I will not go to n by 2 is enough. Double slash is integer division and single slash is float division. Like 7 by 2 is 3 integer division, not 3.5. If it is single slash, it is 3.5. If n value is 7, n by 2 is 3.5. Double slash is integer division, 7 by 2 is 3. So 2 నుంచి n by 2 మధ్యలో ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఉండాలి, ఉంటాయి. ఆ ఫ్యాక్టర్ అంటూ ఉంటే కౌంట్ అప్డేట్ అవుతుంది, లేకపోతే కౌంట్ అప్డేట్ అవ్వదు. So the same, if the count is 0, there are no factors from 2 to n by 2 ani. If there are no factors from 2 to n by 2, it's a prime number. If at all the factors of the number will be from the range of 2 to n by 2. Ee point gurtunchukondi, tarvata maatlaadu. Okay, I am running example 5, it's a prime number. Example 17, it's a prime number. Example 25, not a prime number. So it is working good. So that half of the iterations again. This is version 2. First version, blind logic. Need definition implement. Yes, you have implemented the definition blindly. A prime number is a number which has factors 1 and itself. You have implemented as a program. Now I have applied my mathematics and I have reduced the iterations to half. This is version 2. And next we will go to version 3. Okay, see the back to example again. See examples here: 50, 24, 12 and 11. Okay, version 2 says that all the factors of a number will be within the limits of 2 and n by 2. That's what I have said here. All the factors will be here. 2 to n by 2. And you will not have any factor from n by 2 to n. Okay? అది మనకు చెప్తాం. వెర్షన్ 3 ఏం చెప్తుందంటే మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ ఫండమెంటల్ ఏం చెప్తుందంటే what is the mathematical fundamental say is, if at all a number has a factor, one factor will be within the limits of 2 to square root of n. If at all a number has factors, the first factor will be within the limits of 2 to square root of n. So if a number has a factor from 2 to n by 2, it cannot be a prime number, no matter how many. ఒక నెంబర్ 50కి ఇక్కడ 4 ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయండి, నాట్ ప్రైమ్. 24కి 6 ఉన్నాయండి, నాట్ ప్రైమ్. అండ్ 12కి 4 ఉన్నాయండి, నాట్ ప్రైమ్. ఓకే, 50 has got 4 factors, it's not a prime number. 24 has got 6 factors, not a prime number. 12 has got 4 factors, not a prime number. And the number of factor has got nothing to do with prime number. Number of factors for a given number has got nothing to do with prime number to check whether it is a prime number or not. It will be within the limits of, the first factor will be within the limits of 2 to square root of n. Say we'll check it out now. 50 square root is roughly from 7 to 8. Within the limits of 8, we have got at least one factor. 24 square root of is roughly 5. Within the limits of 5, we have got a factor, so it is not a prime number. And 12 within the limits, 12 square root is roughly 4. Okay, so within the limits of 4, we have got a factor. So you need not check till 6, it is enough to check till 4. You need not check till 12, it is enough to check till 24, no, till 5 is enough. Okay, you need not check till 25, it is enough to check till 8. Say if the number is 100, you need not check till 50, it is enough to check till 10. Square root of 100 is 10. Literally, if for the larger numbers, you are decreasing the number of iterations, right? If the n value is 400, as per first logic, you need to repeat for 400 times, right? 400 iterations. As per second logic or version 2, you need to do it for 200 times only, n by 2 covered. If the n value is 400, as per the third logic, square root of 400, 20. 200 ekkada, 20 ekkada. Such a best logic, third one is. So you need not move till n by 2 also. It is enough till square root of n. And plus 1 is for best case. Maybe, you know, for in the 24th is 24 for 24 square root is in between 4 and 5. So let it be 5. Maybe one iteration is not an issue. But 20 and 200, nearly 180 iterations difference is there, right? So this is going to be much better version than the second one. First version is n iterations, second one is n by 2 iterations. Now, at least you will have one factor within the limits of 2 to square root of n. If you have one factor within the limits of square root of 1 to n, then you cannot call it as a prime number, no matter how many factors does it have. That's what I mean to say. So let me run this code. N value is 5. So, okay, this is float. Int of, because square root value, I'll be getting 4 value. Float value, that is real value. I'm converting that real value into an integer. So 5 is a prime number. Say 36 is not a prime number. Okay, and 11 is a prime number. So this is much better than previous 2 versions. Okay, because it is taking only square root of n iterations. First one n iterations, second version n by 2 iterations, third version square root of n iterations. Okay, we will next see it. See this example, back to example again. Still, I can still optimize that code. What I'll do is, say, let me take an example 100 and identify all the factors of 100. 1, no need of 1 because I'm starting from 2, right? 2, 3, no, 4, 4 is a factor, 4, 5 is a factor, 6, no, 6 is not a factor, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a factor, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, no, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is a factor, 21, 22, 23, 24 is a factor, 24. From 24 to 25, there is no factor for 100. So it will be 50, 52s. Yes, 2 50s, 4 25s, 5 10s, 50. Okay. And the last factor will be 100. Since 1 and 100 need not consider, so I have removed from 1 to 1 and 100. So from all the factors are within the limits of 2 to 50. This is version 2. And version 3 says you need not check till 50. It is enough if you check till 10. Because if at all a number has a factor, it will be from 2 to square root of n. 2 to square root of n. Yes, there are 100 has got factors, and one factor will be from 2 to 10. And how now I'm optimizing this to this way. The moment you get the first factor, break the loop. Means you need not check from 2 to 10 also. 2 దగ్గర break చేస్తాం. Because number of prime, you need not bother about number of primes. Sorry, number of factors. Number of factors has got nothing to decide with prime number. Okay. The moment you get the first factor, break the loop. Don't check for remaining. Because it is not a prime number. If it has got a factor from 2 to n by 2, it is not a prime number, no matter how many. So break the loop. That is what my next upgradation or optimization. So I'm optimizing the code. The moment I get the first factor, n modulus I double equal to 0. The moment I get the first factor, I'll break the loop. I will not check. Even not even till square root of n. The first factor itself, 2 దగ్గర break అయిపోతుంది ఇక్కడ. If it is 100, ఎప్పుడైతే 2 divisible అయిందో, I will not check. Okay. If it is a prime number, then say 11, the square root of 11 is roughly 4. So from 4, 1, I will check, sorry, 2 is not divisible by 11, 3 is not divisible by 11, 4 is not divisible by 11. Within 3 iterations, I can decide 11 is no number from 2 to square root of n is divisible by 11. So 11 is a prime number. For that prime numbers, it's okay. It will run till square root of n. Fine. But for non-prime numbers, the moment you get the first factor, break the loop. For prime numbers, continue the loop from 2 to square root of n. For prime numbers, continue the loop from 2 to square root of n. For non-prime numbers, the moment you get the first factor, break the loop. Optimal logic. Okay. So see here. The moment I get the first factor, I'm breaking the loop. So this is prime. 5 is prime number. 51 is not a prime number. 17 3s. Okay. So it's not a prime number. In that way, I have optimized this code. This is just to check whether the given number is prime or not. Total 4 ways. I told you 4 ways. The first way, a blind logic, converting the definition into a problem. The second way is optimizing the code like half iterations. In the third way, optimizing the code further using the fundamentals of mathematics like square root of n iterations. And the fourth way, applying the logic. It has got nothing to do with mathematics. Applying the brain. The moment I get the first factor from 2 to square root of n, it says that it is not a prime number. Then I have applied that logic to the problem. And finally I am getting the answers, right? So my next level is all this lines of code says whether the given నెంబర్ ఈజ్ ప్రైమ్ ఆర్ నాట్, అంతే. ఒక నెంబర్ ప్రైమా కాదా చెప్పుద్ది, అంతే. ఓకే, బట్ మై ఇంటెన్షన్ ఈస్ టు ప్రింట్ all the numbers from 1 to n. If I give n value as 50, the output should be all the prime numbers from 1 to 50. Okay, that we will see. So I'm closing this prime number logic here. This is only for single number, to check for that particular number. Okay, fine. Okay, now we will see to print range of prime numbers from 1 to n. Applying the same logic, but for range of prime numbers. Okay, not just one number, but from 1 to that particular number. Okay, and end of this class, I'll give you a task which you need to do. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, now let this n value be range. Say this is range. I'll read it later. Okay, I'll convert this particular logic into a function. I'll convert this particular logic into a function. Like if it is a function, it should start with df, and since it is prime function, prime, and I need to send an n value as a parameter. Okay, and function syntax, and so if okay, indentation. So this is a prime function. If you give n value to this prime function, it will check whether it is a prime or not. So finally it will return the count value, return c. The c can either be 0 or 1. 1 epudu first factor dorikinapudu. 1 when you get the first factor, then the c value will be 1, and it will break the loop and it will return the c value. If there are no factors, the c value is 0. So return c value will have only two values: 0 if it is prime, 1 if it is not prime. If it is not prime, first factor, break the loop, get out or come out of the loop. Okay, as simple as that. So a small function. Now what I'll do is I will read the range of prime numbers. Enter the range like 1 to till what number on it. And I'll start the loop for I in range 1 comma n plus 1. N plus 1. Okay, I will call that prime function. I'll call that prime function by sending each and every I value. Note this point. Okay, by sending each and every I value. Now what I'll do is I'm sending each and every I value to prime function, and I'm asking it to check whether that I value is prime or not. If it is prime, it will return 1. If it is not prime, it will return 0. And if that value is equal to 0, if the return value is equal to 0, then I will print that value. Print I, comma, and equal to some say space, so that it will be in horizontal order. Okay. So print I, after I value, a small space for every. So say your n value is 100. I starts from 1 to 100. Every value from 1 to 100 will be sent to prime function. 1, whether it is a prime or not, return avutundi. 2, whether it is a prime or not, return avutundi. 3, whether it is a prime or not, return avutundi. So in this way, every number from 1 to n will be passed to prime function, and that prime function will evaluate whether that particular number is a prime number or not, and it will return accordingly. 0 if it is prime, and 1 if it is not prime. I'm repeating the same thing, right? Because okay, You can stop me if you have any issues. Okay, please respond in the chat window, or raise your hand. You have got an option there. Raise your hand. Okay, then you can stop me there if I am very fast. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to this. Okay. Now we will compile this code. Let my n value range be 25. So 1 to 23 are my prime numbers. Is 1 a prime number? No. Then we can remove that. Yes, we will start from 2 to n plus 1. Now range is 25. Yes, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23 are prime numbers from 1 to 25. So what happens here? For every 2 is checking whether it is a prime or not. Next I value 3, checking whether it is a prime or not. I value 4, passing to the function, checking whether it is prime or not. I value 5, passing to the function, checking whether it is prime or not. I value 6, passing to the function, checking whether it is prime or not. So on until I value is n. Okay, that n also will be passed to function, checking whether it is prime or not. And if it is prime, that is if the count or if the return value is 0, it is prime. Okay, then it is printing. If the return value is not 0, it will not print. As simple as that. Okay, and I told you how this return value is 0. If it is 0, it is prime because there are no factors. That I have explained 5 minutes or 10 minutes back. So this is a logic to print 1 to n prime numbers. 1 to n prime numbers. And this is not the best class. Okay, square root of I times. So this you need to remember. This is the problem with this particular version. Now I'll optimize this thing with a technique called sieve technique. The primary aim of this class is this technique, sieve technique. Okay. Now I'll explain how that technique works and I'll convert that technique into a program. I'll explain you how sieve technique works. And once you understand that sieve technique, taking your feedback from the chat window, then I'll convert that program to convert that technique to program. Okay, but remember this is very important, sieve technique. Okay, it will be very much useful for your competitive coding examinations. Okay. Okay, now I will explain sieve technique. Carefully observe this, listen this sieve technique. It is very much useful for your competitive coding examinations. Okay, this is the best way you can generate the range of prime numbers. Okay, so listen carefully. Say I need to print range of prime numbers from 1 to 50. What I'll do is I will take a list of elements from 1 to 50. 1 to 50, I'll take a list of elements. The list contains all the numbers from 1 to 50. Okay. Now, since 1 is not a prime number, remove that element or make it 0. Remove that element enough. Okay. Remove that element. And consider this n value as 50. Yes. Now calculate the square root for 50. The square root of 50 will be in between 7 and 8 because 7 square is 49 and 8 square is 64. So it will be in between 7 and 8. So I am highlighting those numbers 7 to 8. Now what I'll do is I will consider each and every number and I'll remove all the multiples of that number. I repeat, I will consider each and every number, and if it is not 0, I will remove all the multiples of that number. Remove in the sense I will assign 0. Say 2. I will assign 0 to all the multiples in the list. So what are the multiples of 2? 4. Assign 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. All even numbers I'm removing because all even numbers are multiples of 2. So this is 5 iteration. This is first step. Now 2 completed. Over. Now consider 3. Now remove all the multiples of 3. 3 multiples. 9, 15, 21, 27, 33, 39, 45. All the multiples of 3 were removed. Okay, so 3 is also over. Second step. Okay, next, is there an element 4? No, it is 0. You need not bother, because all the multiples of 4 were removed by multiples of 2. 4 was removed by multiple of 2. So multiples of 4 also will be removed by multiple of 2. So the task is completed. You need not send 4 again to the function. Got it? But in previous case, that's the point. Okay. So no need of 4. Now 5. 5 is not 0. Now remove the multiples of 5. Yes, remove. Multiples of 5 over. Next, 6. There is no 6 because it is 0. Because all the multiples of 6 are multiples of 2. Multiples of 2 were already removed. So you need not bother about 6 and its multiples. They were already removed by 2. Okay. So no need. 7. 7 multiples. 7, 14 is not there. 21 is not there. 28 is not there. And 35 not there. So 7 multiples are also 8. 8 was removed by 2. So multiples of 8 undo, obviously, because multiples of 8 are obviously multiples of 2 and they were removed previously. So within 8 iterations, the task is over. Now all the leftover elements in the list are prime numbers. Just check it out. Now all the leftover elements in the list are prime numbers. Yes, 5 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number, 11 is a prime number, 17 is a prime number, 19 is a prime number, 13 is a prime number, 23 prime number. All these are prime numbers, right? That's it. The task is over. This is called sieve technique. You need to take list of elements, calculate the square root, from 2 to square root, check every number, okay, and remove all its multiples. Consider every number and remove all its multiples in the list. Finally, when you reach the square root of its number, you will be getting the list of prime numbers. When you reaches the square root of that number, n value, you will be getting, the list is ready now. Prime numbers list is ready. Of course, with zeros, that we can remove, not an issue. Okay. Shall we convert this technique to code? Did you understood or not? Please respond in your chat window. Or shall I take one more example? Understood? Oh, very good. You people are really sharp there. I thought you'll ask for one more example. Very good. Thank you. Then we'll convert this code. Okay, convert this thing into a program. So fine. Yeah, here you are. So I don't want all these prime functions and all this nonsense. Okay. See how many lines of code? Nearly about 12 lines of code it is. Hopefully we'll complete this within less only. So remove this. In this case, you are sending each and every value to the function. That is the disadvantage. Now converting the sieve technique to code. What I'll do is initially I'll read range input of enter range. Very good. Now basing on this range, I'll take the list of elements. Now using list comprehension, I for I in range of n. What does it do? You can check it out here. Print, let this be prime, because say the list, every element in the list, my prime one can start chadam. Okay, we'll start it like every element in the list is a prime number. I'll print it. I'm just checking whether list comprehension is working or not. range is 10. Yes, it is working. I, for every I in range, you're converting a list. List comprehension technique I have explained in the previous classes, right? So the list of elements from 0 to 9 is ready now within single step. Okay. Now prime is a list which contains elements from 0 to n. If n value is 50, it contains 0 to 50. 0 to 50. As simple as that. Now, what we will do is, and we know that the first element need to be deleted because 1 is not a prime number. 0 is a prime number, fine. 1 is not a prime number, convert it to 0. Prime of 1 equal to 0. Prime of 1 is 0. Now, loop starts from for I in range. Back to the example. Loop starts from 2 to square root of n. From 2 to square root of n. Okay, the loop, that is the range. So for I in range, 2 to square root of n, okay, int of n double star 0.5, 0.5, plus 1 for worst case. So all the numbers from 2 to square root of n, I'll be checking whether it is prime or not. Whether it is non-zero, I will convert all its multiples to 0. If it is non-zero, I will convert all its multiples to 0. If it is 0, it's okay. It is not a prime number, right? As simple as that. Now, if prime of I is not 0, same explanation to code. Prime of I, if it is 0, no. If it is non-zero, convert all its multiples to 0. Non-zero, convert all its multiples to 0. If it is 0, leave it. If it is non-zero, convert all its multiples to 0. As simple as that. So if prime of I is not 0, then all its multiples for the for this usage, j in range, say j in range 2 comma n by I. I'll explain you why n by I iterations. See here. Example. Say your I value is 2 and j value is something, any j value. I into j should be less than 50 because your list is out of 50. Multiples is I into something is a multiple, right? So I into j should be less than 50. Else it will lead to what you call index out of range. The list contains only 50 elements. If you are not maintaining this I into j value less than n, it will exceed the list value. So the equation is simple. I is the selected number and j is a multiple, and the multiplication of both should be less than n. N is your last element in the list or the range of your list. Okay. So the multiples of these two should be less than n, should not exceed n. So using mathematics, can I write this in this way? Like j is less than n by I. Yes, from LHS side to RHS side, multiplication. When variable of type multiplication moves to right side, it will convert to be a division, plus to minus and multiplication to division, mathematics Sunday. So I into j is less than n. Now I am writing j less than n by I, which means j should always be less than n by I. J should always be less than n by I. So its range is from 2 to n by I. N by I. This is integer division and that's why double slash. If it is a real division, it is n single slash. 7 by 5 is 3.5. 7 double slash 5 is 3. As simple as that. So n double slash I, integer division. So j range is from 2 to n by I. Okay, because I into j should not exceed the list value. Fine. Now convert all its multiples to 0. I into j, I into j equal to 0. Fine. So outer loop executes only square root n times, and inner loop executes only n by I times. For n value 2, it is n by 2. N value 3, it is n by 3 times. If n value 4, it is n by 4 times. For n value 5, it is n by 5 times. Sorry, I'm sorry. If I value is 1, it is n times. If I value is 2, it is n by 2 times. If I value is 3, it is n by 3 times. If I value is 4, it is n by 4 times. If I value is 5, it is n by 5 times. So outer loop executes for square root of n times, and inner loop executes for n by I times. Very, very less time complexity. The optimal, optimal. Okay. Now we will print the prime list. Previously, I have printed the prime list. It prints all the numbers from 1 to 49, right? 1 to 50, right? Now we will see whether it is printing prime numbers or not. Okay. Now we will execute this code. This one. Okay. So my range is 24. So I got all the prime numbers from 0 to 24. That's 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23 are prime numbers from 0 to 20. 0 to 24. Or we'll check again, we'll give 20. That's all the prime numbers from 0 to 20. But it contains zeros, right? We'll remove all these zeros and then print it. So to remove that, convert that list to set prime equal to set of prime. Prime is a list. I am converting that prime list to set. What does this set function do is, set is a data structure which doesn't contain any duplicate values, and it contains unordered elements. Elements will be shuffled and it will not contain any duplicate elements. Just to remove these duplicate zeros, I am converting that list to set. Okay. So see now, enter range 20. Yes, it is a set of numbers 0, 2, 3, and zeros has been removed, right? Now we'll see this thing. And 2 is not a prime, 0 is not a prime number. You can even remove that, and you can convert this set to list also, like this. Prime equal to list of prime. Now it will print in form of a list. 20. Sorry, full stop ichchanu. A list of numbers, and remove this 0. How can you remove that 0? Apply the function prime dot remove 0. So 0 will be removed from the list. Spelling mistake. So the range is 20. So these are the prime numbers from 2 to 19. 2 to 19. Sorry, 2 to 20. Range is 20. Okay. Clear, everybody? A very fast technique. And you know, the code is just, this is just conversion. I can put it in a single line also, like this, so that I can remove this line. List of set of prime. And this is okay. Just to remove that element. Or you can remove here itself. Okay. How many lines? Just 11 lines, not even 11, 10 lines. Within 10 lines, we have concluded this program to print a range of prime numbers. such a small code with lots of technique in it. If you need to understand this technique, you should understand how this works. That's why I took some time to explain this particular sieve technique. And as you said, you have understood this better. You agreed, right? That's why I have developed that technique into a program. And this is the best way you can generate range of prime numbers. Optimal. Here, am I sending each and every value to the subfunction to calculate whether it is a prime number? No. Only square root of n iterations. So if I need to calculate a time complexity, this is square root of n sqrt, square root of n, and this is n by 2. Sorry, n by I. Hardly you will be landing somewhere at log of n. Very, very less complexity and very fast. Okay, let us take some good examples now. A big example, like range is 3000. Anta fast ga vachindi chusara, range of prime numbers. And these are unordered because set annanu. First elements are 2, 3, 5, 20, 53 vachindi because set kabatti. You can sort them here itself. Remove chesin tarvata prime dot sort. Then you will get in sorted order. Say 3000. Very fast. Now I'll give one more value. Say this is I think 30 lakhs. Yes, 30 lakhs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Within 9 seconds, say 10 seconds, I got my output. 10 seconds. Okay. But if it is a case of other technique, it will literally take about 30 to 40 seconds. You can execute it at home. Previous code functions use chesi like chesam kada, adi kuda execute cheyandi. Same 30 lakhs input avandi. Time, just count your fingers, that's it. 1 second, 1 figure. And this is very fast. So that's all for today's class. If you have any issues, please respond in your chat window so that and I'll upload this thing, no issues. I will edit in between. Since you people requested me to teach in Telugu wherever necessary, so I am teaching in Telugu also for some people convenience. Okay, they requested me to teach few techniques. Use Telugu wherever necessary. It's okay, not an issue. We'll move ahead. So I'm waiting for your questions. I'm stopping the screen. Yes, questions please.